Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Bunnysays. I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Minecraft. And I haven't played this in like a week, and wow, okay, I totally forgot where I was. I remember now, but thank you for joining me. Apparently I'm spelunking here, and I remember I was getting the red and white on the granite and the diorite. Lost this. Let's see, we have a diamond over there and gold. Oh. Come on up, come on up. Well. Okay, hold on. To me, everything's back to normal. Yeah, good. Okay. There we go. Anything else? Okay, well, whatever. Done. Okay. Eat my egg. Thank you for joining me. Today's a snowy Saturday afternoon. Morning, actually. So you may occasionally hear a plow come by. Apparently we're getting, let's see, 15 centimeters of snow, about 6 inches, I guess. Well, into tomorrow night. So, well, we'll see how it goes. So, otherwise it's same as always. One thing I did see was, in the last few days, it was something I was just looking at actually. Was, do I have iron? Yes, okay. Grab some iron. Okay, it's time to get out of here anyway. Let's grab some of this red granite and take off. Head back up to base. But, something... Now, I don't know if you know, I think I've mentioned it before, but I'm a very big Twilight Zone fan. The old Twilight Zone, the old 50s and 60s Twilight Zone, black and white. If you don't know what the Twilight Zone is, it used to be an old television show. It's an episodic television show, you know, every week there'd be a different, do I have space for this? Yes, I do. There'd be a different episode every week, half-hour episode. And it'd be like just different crazy stuff happening in like the Twilight. Now the Twilight Zone is sort of, I guess you'd call it sort of an alternate dimension, somewhat. Now there's a theory that maybe the Twilight Zone is almost like an sentient sort of place, which I thought was a really unusual idea. I was like, oh wow, that's pretty, I didn't think about that. But the idea is like, you know, weird stuff will happen to people. These people will, you know, it's like basically a weird story every week. And you can't exactly call it horror, but it'll be something strange, you know, like something strange will happen to somebody or something like that. Some of the more famous episodes are like that, I was just talking to somebody about this. Was, now remember, bear in mind that this came out back in the 50s. And these were sort of like, these are, well, a new big thing, you know. the ideas weren't all used up and everything back then. They were new. I remember an episode where these astronauts come back down from space. I was just talking to somebody about this because of I'll tell you in a second. These guys come down from space, and they're like these three guys, and they're visiting their friend in the hospital. They were supposed to come down and crashed, but they made it. The three guys made it. They're in they're orbiting the Earth, and they come back down. They crash, and then two of the guys, say astronaut number 2 and 3, are going to visit astronaut 1 in the hospital. And they're visiting him, and one of the guys is going talking about I can't remember exactly how it went, but one of the guys is talking to number 2 is number 3 is talking to number 2 and going, what happened to what's his name? John, did he call you? And have you talked to John yet or what? And the number 2 astronaut is going, well, what are you talking about? Who's John? He's like, John, John. He's like, he said, what are you kidding? John, And he's like, say number 3, his name is Harry. He's like, Harry, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? Who's John? He's like, what do you mean, who's John? He's like, what are you talking about? He came up into the, he was in the capsule with us. What are you talking about? Our friend, John, And Harry, and the guys look at him like, listen, Harry, I don't know what you're talking about. I never met John in my life. I don't, who are you talking about? You kidding or what? And, it's like, that, it's sort of obvious that things are going on, and, number 3 guy runs off, and he's like, John, John, our friend. He went missing the other day, and we were looking for him. And, both number 1 and number 2, their guy in the hospital, are like, man, we don't know what you're talking about, And suddenly, the number 3 guy, who's asking about John, is like, gets this weird look over his face, like, oh, I feel something sort of weird, he starts acting sort of weird, and he runs off. He starts getting scared, super scared, and runs off, He freaks out and runs off. And, the number 2 guy runs out. Now remember, they're in the hospital, and so number 3 guy runs out on the corridor. He gets freaked out and runs in the corridor. And, I might as well grab these diamonds while I'm here. And, whoa, what was that? Oh, I didn't even hear that. Oh, wow, okay. It's gonna be like that, huh? Creeper just creeped up on me and exploded. But, number 2 guy runs out chasing after number 3 guy, and he stops a nurse, and he's like, hey, where'd my friend go? Because he just ran out in the corridor. And the nurse is like, I didn't see anybody, like that type of thing, And he's like, it was, Colonel so-and-so, he just come out here. What are you talking about? He just ran out in the corridor. He was just here a second ago, So, number 2 guy runs off, and he's looking for the guy, and so suddenly the next day, the number 2 guy comes back and visits the guy in the hospital. And he's, he like said the guy's name is Tom, the guy in the hospital. And he's like, Tom, well, I want you to explain a couple things to me. I want you to listen to me for a minute. Tell me, talk to me about this for a second. He's like, now, you remember Harry, right? And Tom was like, who's Harry? He's like, who's Harry? Like another one. And he's like, Harry. And he's getting mad. He's getting like angry. He's like, Harry, Harry. He was here with him yesterday. We were visiting you. I'll get some of the red here. Some of this granite. And Tom is like, I don't know what you're talking about, Jim, or whatever, Harry, whatever Jim, whatever your name is there. He's like, you were here by yourself yesterday. What are you talking about? It's just you and me. And he gets all mad, He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I was here with Harry yesterday. He's like, no, man, you were here by yourself. What are you talking about? So, in other words, the story is the guys keep disappearing, the third guy did, apparently there was like another guy or something, and then he disappeared, and one of the other guys remembers him, but the other two guys don't. And then, the same thing happens to this guy. And he's like, our friend, I was just here with him yesterday. I was just talking to you yesterday with him. And he's getting all mad, and he's like, look at the paper, look. Yeah, I'll show you, look. Because in the paper, they had been looking at the paper at the hospital, and the newspaper had a picture of the three of them, saying, 3 survivors from, this crash. Made it, And he looks at it, and suddenly there's only the 2 of them on the paper, There's only the 2 guys in the paper. He's like, look, what are you talking about? Tom is going, like, look, it's only just the 2 of us. I've never heard of this guy, Harry. What are you talking about? And he freaks out, and he runs out into the thing, and runs out onto the cover like the other guy. And he's all freaking out, and, and the same thing happens to him. He disappears, Then the last guy in the hospital is like, he goes to he's freaking out. He goes out and he starts talking. He's like, hey, he calls up his commander or something. He was being discharged from the hospital, so he's okay. Calls up his commander and starts going, hey, what's his name? Harry just ran out of here. What's his name? Just ran out of here. He's going wild. I think there might be something wrong with him. And he's coming, and suddenly, he's on the phone, and you see him sitting there suddenly going like, whatever that guy's name was, Harry, whatever the second guy's name was, he's like, his name is Jim, whatever. He's like, Jim, Jim Smith. So you could tell he's obviously screaming like oh wow, okay, Slime's here. The commander is like talking to him like he never heard of Jim, Otherwise, and then the guy, the last guy he's talking to nurses and stuff and everything, and they're all going, no, it's just you. I don't know what you're talking about. And he gets all, freaked out, and he's running around. He goes to his girlfriend, and he's trying to get her to say she knew the guy that came into the hospital, Jim, and he's calling up different people and stuff, and he gets all freaked out. And each time before the guys disappeared, they would suddenly get this, they were like, oh my God, I got this weird feeling, this strange feeling. And they would suddenly look like, they'd have this weird look in their face, and then they would start screaming, getting, oh my God, and run off, And that's when they would disappear, you know. So this guy's freaking out. He's thinking like the same thing's gonna happen to him, and he's lucky. He runs over, he looks at the newspaper, and it's just a picture of him on it, you know. There's nobody else. It says, you know, lone survivor of crash so-and-so. You know, it has a picture of him on it. You know, and then, well, to make it short anyway, suddenly, he's running around. He's trying to talk to his girlfriend. He's trying to talk to everybody, trying to say, where's Jim? And, you know, doesn't anybody remember this guy? And suddenly, you know, you see this light on his face, and he's like, no, you know, and then, you know, he starts screaming, and then he runs off, and you see that he disappears too, you know. And you see the colonel guy or somebody, whoever was in charge there, goes into the room, the hospital room there. Oh, do we have 64 pieces already? Okay. He walks into the room that the guy had been in, you know, the hospital room, and he's talking to this nurse, and he's going like, oh, is this room ready? Is it okay? And she's like, oh yeah, it's been empty for a week now. You know, as in like the guy was never there, you know. You see Rod Serling comes out and starts talking about it. Which is great. I mean, you have episodes like that. I love this one episode. It was called Five People in Search of an Escape or something like that. You have these, it's crazy. You have these 5 people who are seem to be in this room, and it's this metal room or something, and they're trying to figure out a way out, and it just has this real high walls, you know. They're trying to figure out one's a army guy, one's a ballerina, one's a clown. They're like these 5 different people, you know. And do we have enough here? Okay, almost. Anyway, to shorten it out, they're sitting there trying to figure out where they are. They're like, what's going on? Where are we? How do we get out of here? So they're sitting there stuck inside of a room trying to figure out how to get out of it, how to get out of this room, and it's like this perfect, smooth room. And eventually they're blaming each other. They're trying to say, it's somebody else, their fault, and they're blaming each other and all that stuff. And okay, there we go. And then eventually they're like, okay, how can we get out of this place? And they team up together. One guy climbs up. Oh, every once in a while, whenever they try to climb out, they would hear this loud ringing sound. This bell, like this giant bell, and it would knock them all back into the thing, you know, knock them all down, whatever they were trying to do. Eventually, they form up together, and they help one guy try to get out of the outside, because the wall's high, but it's not it's not that high. It's not too high for all 5 of them to, get up there. And I don't know if you know this one, but suddenly one person, the person's like, oh my god, gets up to the top, and it's like, oh my god, and then falls outside the cylinder, and he seems to be shocked. He's like, one of the guys, whoever it was shocked and stunned, then falls. And suddenly you see outside, you see these people, see some person come up, and it's supposed to be Christmas time or something like that, and it's like a Salvation Army. I don't know if you know what that is. It's like a little place that donates to people and stuff like that, donates goods and things like that to poor people, or needy people. They take donations and all this. And Salvation, they'll also take items too, so like toys for children and stuff like that. So, yeah, you know it is. You know what's happening here. The suddenly somebody comes up and it's like, oh, one of the things dropped out of your basket here. It picks it up and it say it's the ballerina. The person picks up a ballerina doll there and sticks it back into the bucket, and it's like, oh, and donates some, gives $1 or something. And suddenly you see the people inside the bucket again there, and you realize there were 5 dolls, and so the idea was that there were 5 dolls inside of a bucket, and the big ringing sound was somebody ringing the bell, the Salvation Army person ringing a bell, like that type of story. You'll see crazy sort of stories like that, and of course the very famous one with Nightmare at 20,000 Feet, where you have William Shatner, Captain Kirk himself, he's on a plane. He's just had a nervous breakdown, and his wife is taking him on a plane to go back home, and they're giving him these pills and everything. Maybe you must have heard about this one. This is a great one. This is a great episode. And he's on a plane, and and his wife is like, don't forget to take your pills and all this, Okay, I'm getting out of here. How do I get out of here? Okay. Let me look here. See which way I'm going. And if not, if I can't figure my way out of here, I'll make my own stairway. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to make my own stairway because I don't know how to get out of here. Let me look at the mini map here. Maybe down this way. Okay, maybe it must be down here. But yeah, okay. Yeah, I think it's this way. Oh, what the heck? Where did you come from? I fell from the roof here. But get up here, or what's going on? Oh, here we go. Oh, okay, wow. Knock this out so I can see it easier. Okay, here we go. It's more like it. Well, what do you know? Oh, and so William Shatner's, he's going to get on a plane, and it's a story about the gremlin. I don't know if you know this one. There's he gets on a plane, and suddenly he's sitting there, and he's all freaked out. He's trying to be there. He's trying to calm down, and he's sitting there, and suddenly he looks at it. It's just there's some turbulence because there's a thunderstorm going on outside. He's like, okay. He's calming down and everything. He's trying to calm down. His wife's like, take some extra pills or something if you need to, And, suddenly, oh, did I come this way before? I must have, right? Yeah, I had to have. So, yeah, this is the way out. It must be. Okay. Yeah, looks like it. Okay. Yeah, that looks like a stairway over there. Yeah, that's it. And do we have all iron here? Okay, yeah, I'm all filled up, I mean. Okay. Yep, here we go. Yeah, okay. And, he gets on the, okay, good, there's a way out. Is this way? Must be this way. Yeah, okay. Looks like it. Yeah, okay. Perfect. Daylight out? Yes, it is. Oh, okay. So William Shatner's sitting there, and suddenly, during the storm, suddenly, this like creature lands on the wing of the plane. And it's this crazy looking, fuzzy looking, like crazy looking creature. Just floats down and lands on the side of the plane, lands on the wing. And William Shatner's like staring at it, going like, oh my God, what the hell? And, yeah, it's this way. But, out of here. Okay, here we go. Oops. Okay. Here we go. And he, suddenly he's like, he turned around to his wife and he's like, oh my God, look, there's something on the wing of the plane, And his wife's looking over there, and it's like, every time William Shatner points out something, points it out, and he turns around, you see the thing that just fly off the wing of the plane, it just takes off, So every time he turns around, he's like, look, there's something there, The thing will take off, And, his wife's like, oh, he's like, look, it's there. And he turns around and it's gone, And his wife is looking and she's like, why don't you take another pill, dear? It's like that type of thing. And obviously he sees the thing land on the wing, and it starts ripping open the wing of the plane and starts messing around with the electronics inside, and suddenly you see the plane shaking and stuff and everything. And so obviously the thing's like messing around with the wing of the plane. And let me move these here. Okay. There we go. And let me put these here as well. Okay. So he keeps on doing, he does it, and then he's talking to he's trying to talk to someone. He's trying to get the flight attendant to look because his wife goes to the bathroom or something, and he sees it again. He's trying to get the stewardess to look at it, and he's like, "Look, there's a thing in the plane." He starts screaming. There's a guy in the wing of the plane, and people are like freaking out, going, "Oh my God!" He's making a lot of noise and freaking everybody out in the plane, and he's like screaming, "Oh my God, there's a guy in the wing of the plane," And they're all looking, everybody's trying to look, and everybody's sort of freaking out. And the steward, you see the steward is telling like the co-pilot, and there's some guy who's transporting there's a guy who's like a federal air marshal who's transporting some prisoner. In other words, he's a guy with a gun. Put it that way. He has a gun on him. So, he's like, "Oh my God, this guy." He's sitting there talking about the guy in the wing of the plane. The co-pilot comes over, and he's like, "Did you see him? William Shatner's going, "Did you see him? Did you see the guy in the plane on the wing?" And the co-pilot's going like, "Of course I saw him." He's like, "Of course I saw him, but nobody else could see him. See, you have to be quiet. We know about it. We know he's there. You can't say anything because we don't want to excite the passengers." And he's like, and the guys like they're humoring him, They're like, and he realizes it. Captain Kirk realizes it. He's like, "Yeah," he's like, "Yeah, sure." He knows they're just screwing with him. So he turns around and he steals the gun off the air marshal. He manages to pretend he drops something, and then sneaks down and takes the gun out of his ankle holster or something, or steals the gun off him. so he's freaking out, and it finally comes to worse. It comes to a point where he sees the thing lands on the wing of the plane. Now, you don't know why the thing doesn't take off whenever, like, William Shatner looks at it. The thing doesn't seem to care. And, he's sitting next to one of the emergency doors, so he rips open the emergency door and starts shooting at the thing, and shoots the thing, shoots the gremlin. It's supposed to be a gremlin on the wing of the plane. He starts shooting at it, and and the thing takes off. The thing finally gets shot and takes off, And finally, you see the plane, landed, and, apparently they had an emergency landing or something, and, you see it, he's sitting there, he feels all satisfied, William Shatner, that is. He seems to be like, yeah, we're going to be better now, it's okay. And, it's like everybody else, for them it's supposed to be, you don't really know if he was just seeing something, or, you're not supposed to know whether or not it's like, if he's seeing something, or was he really just going is he going nuts, Because nobody else, it only lets him see him, right? And nobody else sees it. And he's the only one who's seeing it. And you're supposed to be wondering, how come, it doesn't take off when he sees it, when he's looking at it, But it seems to take off when anybody else is looking. I said I was going to build a coliseum here. I don't know where I want to put it. Let's see, should I put it over here? Or, let me see, hold on. I need a lot of space for this. Maybe I'll build it. Let me get some more. Hold on, let me get some more stone and stuff here. But it's a Twilight Zone. You're not supposed to know, but since it is the Twilight Zone, you see at the end, suddenly you see the wing of the plane, and you see the panel that the thing was ripping up. It's all open, So the thing was real, And, or at least, you get an indication that maybe it was real, after all. And maybe he did save everybody on the plane, Hold on, I want this stuff first of all. I get some more cobblestone, some... Is that the only stone I have? Kidding, right? Really? Did I use up all that stone? Wow. Okay. Wow, really? Maybe I better... Okay. I guess I better cook some more stone up here. Okay. Here we go. Preparing. Let me throw the chest. 2. But there are all kinds of great episodes in the Twilight Zone, There's that creepy one with this woman, okay, I don't want to go into it because this one, yeah, no, I'll go into it. Okay. There's this one was called After Hours, where this woman goes into the shop. She goes into this department store, and she goes in and she's trying to return something, and this was actually sort of creepy. She goes in to return something, and she's sitting there trying to return it, and she's like, this woman's like, well, she's like, well, this woman helped me and said she could return it. Excuse me, I sneezed there. She said this woman said I could return it and all this, and the counter lady is like, what woman? He's like, this woman, that one right there. And she turns around and points at this woman. And it's a mannequin, you know? And she's like, oh. You know, the woman's like, that's not a real person, ma'am. That's a mannequin. She's like, oh, she looks just like the person who was helping me. You know, so, she keeps on going into all this stuff about, she keeps on swearing she was on the 9th floor and that this woman helped her who looked just like this mannequin woman. And so, what am I gonna do here? Okay. Oh, it's okay, it's nighttime. Hold on. Take a sleep real quick. And, you know, she keeps on going on and on about there being a woman here who helped her, and I'm gonna make it here. So I need to move these 2 trees. But, excuse me, it's my heat. Anyway, make a long story short there, she keeps on talking about this woman who helped her and all this stuff, and the manager comes out and he's like, ma'am, I don't know what you're talking about. This woman you're talking about doesn't work here. You know, we don't have somebody who looks like her working here. The manager's there because the woman got all upset and was like, let me talk to your manager. And, you know, the manager comes out and is like, I don't know what you're talking about. And so anyway, she sits there and suddenly it's going to be closing time. And so she's, she turns around and anyway, she gets caught into the store after like closing time. It seems to be closing time. And suddenly, you hear all these people calling her. Suddenly she starts hearing people calling her name. She's looking around, nobody's in the store. And she's calling out, trying to look for people, so like for somebody who works there. And suddenly she hears people calling her name. And she's looking around like, who's calling her name and all this, and do we have to move that tray or this tray? I might have to move this tray. Yeah. And probably this tree as well. Okay. Give me 1 second, please. Hello again. You may well be asking, I'm back, and maybe wondering why I'm suddenly back home. Back in my home, the first home, and why I have no food, no items, and no clothing. Well, apparently when I answered my door, I forgot to pause, and I came back, and it said, I decided to take a swim in lava, and I lost everything. And I just appeared and ran all the way, I jumped on my little railroad and rode all the way back to my home. Here. and I grabbed some food. I died. Apparently, I don't know. I have no idea where there was some lava. I have no idea why there was lava. I took a few minutes more than I expected, but I didn't. I thought I had paused the game. Apparently, I did not. I come back and I have no idea what. I don't remember there being any lava anywhere near me. So even if I died, my stuff should have been like all on the ground. But apparently, I was in lava for some reason. And I have no idea why. And, well, apparently, there's nothing. I come back here and just, I had to come running back here to get my... I'll have to resupply myself. So, it's nighttime already. So, apparently, I grabbed some food real quick and... That's it. I'm sorry about the breaking of my story, whatever I was talking about there. I wasn't gone that long. I didn't think I was gone that long. Apparently I was gone long enough. I need a bed. Good enough. And food. Do I have any coal enough for... Okay, that should be... Do I have enough for, Well, I have a lot less supplies than I remember that I thought I did. Okay. Okay, well, I'll have to... Excuse me. Sorry, I think I might be catching something. I'll have to restock myself. This will be interesting. I can't believe the first... was that the first time I died? No, I died once before, didn't I? And... Well, this was the first time I died in a while. And apparently I was just totally off screen. I didn't even see it. So it wasn't even my fault. Well, it was my fault, but... I thought at worst I'd just be bouncing off, you know, like some zombie would be smacking into me or something like that. I'd be running back and I'd... Well, I didn't remember not pausing. That was the thing. I thought I remembered pausing. Anyway, I lost all my levels, and I lost... Let's see, let me see if there's anything in the ovens here. I will not put you through all this. I'm going to... Nope. Nothing. Did I get some quick experience by picking up some stuff? But, I'm gonna need some levels here. I have my stuff, right? Yes. Oh, barely. I barely have stuff. Oh, wow. I don't even have shoes. Oh. No way, I thought I had a backup. Thought I had backup shoes. I'm gonna back up home. Oh no, here they are, right here. Last protection. Take the fire protection ones. Yeah. I need a chest piece, a nice chest piece. Mending. Take that one. in pants. Do I have a bow? If I stick all these swords together, I can make one nice sword. I don't have a pickaxe. Wow, okay. I don't have... Do I have a bow? It's got flame on it. Whatever, I'll take it. I'll need a pickaxe. Wow. That means we need to be about 30th level or so. And I'll need some levels to knock these swords all together. Sharpness and looting, let's see what that costs. Oh wow, 12 levels there. Sweeping edge, I need mending. Do I have a mending? Must have a mending here somewhere, right? No way! No mending! What does it cost to knock these two together? 12. Oh, 2. Okay, here we go. 2. Plus then they get the 2. Okay, well. Apparently I'm going to be... Oh, I still need Unbreaking as well for that. Well, I have an Unbreaking book, so I could use that. Oh. Wow, okay. Well. Apparently I'm going to be... I don't even have arrows. What? Really? Oh, here we go. Apparently I'm going to be a little bit longer than I thought. Making that Coliseum, I'm going to be on the prowl to make levels so that I can... get my gear up and running again. I was like level 45 too or something like that. I could have made a bunch of levels. I could have made gear while I was... Oh, wow. Do I have any back at the other base? I don't think so. I don't think I have anything there. Okay, well, I'm going to end the session. Oh well, looks like it's back to the drawing board for a bit. Hope you join me. Well, you know, it happens. I just wish I actually saw it. You know, it didn't actually happen. Like I'm walking back to the screen as I'm swimming in lava. It would have been nice if I actually saw it happen, or if it was actually my fault. Well, it was my fault, but I mean, if I actually did it. But, well, I'm just going to need to get some levels and then get some stuff going. So I hope you'll join me next time as the quest for leveling up. I'm going to try to level up a bit. I think I'll go back over to the other place, level up there. And maybe I'll level up. Maybe I'll just... Oh, no, know what? Yeah, you know what? I'll, feed and... I shall... Yes, I could feed some cows and some pigs, and I could, do some recycling. That'll give me some quick levels. Kill a couple monsters at night. That'll also give me some... Do any of these have mending on them? Okay, nope. Do these have mending on them? No, they do not. Except for the chest piece there. Oh, I've got to find out what town has mending. Do I even... Oh no, I don't even remember what town has mending. I appeared here and rode my little rail all the way up. All the way through here, all the way through here, all the way to the town. And jumped on the rest of it and went the rest of the way all the way home, yeah. Wow, okay. Well, I guess I have something to do. First of all, remember where those towns were. All those towns. And see if I can... there it is. I don't get it. Where's this lava? Apparently there's a pool of lava there, but I don't remember there being any lava. Maybe it's like a little patch of lava or something, and then they miraculously knocked me into the pool of lava. No. Whatever. Okay, I'm gonna have to quest for mending again. I'm gonna have to do a town run and start maybe trading off to the towns. Oops. Okay, well, my game crashed. So I think this is a good time as any to end it here. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again next time. So goodbye for now.